This is Susan DeBick. I'm excited to talk to you today about Stolen Science, written by Ella Schwartz, illustrated by Gabby de Alessandro. This is a compendium that features stories of people who made incredible scientific discoveries but didn't receive due credit during their lifetime because they were from underrepresented backgrounds. Sometimes these exclusions were explicit and malicious. So Cyrus McCormick claimed credit for the invention of the mechanical reaper, but was really a person he enslaved, Joe Anderson, who designed and created the prototype. Rosalind Franklin was one of the few women in science at her time. She discovered and photographed the triple-strand structure of DNA, but two men, Watson and Crick, later claimed that discovery was theirs, and they received the Nobel Prize for it. Sometimes these exclusions are more subtle and speak to structural disadvantages that creators faced. Alexander Graham Bell was only 2 years old when a poor Italian immigrant named Antonio Meucci did the same type of experiment that led Alexander Graham Bell to claim he had invented the telephone. But Meucci never had the money to patent it, so 27 years later, Alexander Graham Bell was the one who could claim the prize. There's lots in the compendium category, but what makes this a standout is it's not just women in science, it's across different underrepresented backgrounds. And we're also featuring information about how the science actually works in each of the discoveries. The art in this one's really stand out, so I'm excited for you to take a look.
This is Allison at Bloomsbury. I'm happy to share A Most Clever Girl, How Jane Austen Discovered Her Voice by debut author Jasmine A. Sterling and award-winning illustrator Vesper Stamper. This beautiful book is more than just a picture book biography. It's a celebration of how the beloved author found her unique voice, from a mischievous little girl who poked fun at the popular novels of her time to a woman who found her way through joy and great sorrow and discovered that all of her experiences were what made her writing voice so uniquely her own. The text weaves in quotes from Jane Austen's own writing to tell her story, and the illustrations bring the settings to gorgeous and detailed life. Jasmine and Vesper's extensive research comes through beautifully in the read and is further outlined in back matter, suggesting further reading and resources.
This is Susan DeBick. I'm excited to talk to you today about Boy from Buchenwald, the true story of a Holocaust survivor. It's written by Robbie Wiseman with Susan McClelland. Robbie was 13 years old when he was separated from his family in Poland and sent to the concentration camps in Buchenwald, Germany, where he faced countless atrocities. 57,000 people died. When the camp was liberated after the war ended, he and 430 other boys whose families couldn't be located were moved to a rehabilitation center in France. They were still kids, and they had been through the worst imaginable trauma, but the people from the surrounding French villages called them the bad children of Buchenwald, and people later described it as a Lord of the Flies-like scenario with kids who were just too wild for society. And that description is just really what blows my mind, because can you imagine the worst possible things being done to children and then saying that they're the problem? Of course that wasn't the case, and what I think is really special about this story is it's a story that's not just about Robbie's time at Buchenwald, but it's about what comes after, how he learned to live again and how he learned to find joy. It's a really remarkable addition to the canon of Holocaust literature, and I think will be really inspiring to kids and teens who have been through so much trauma today, giving the message that there can be recovery and, yes, joy after.
From the author of Caterpillar Summer, Gillian McDunn, comes These Unlucky Stars, a funny, heartwarming novel about a girl who finds a life-changing friendship in a very unexpected place. Annie Logan believes she was born under an unlucky star. She attributes just about anything in her life to this fact, and as a result has kept herself at a distance from those around her. But when she's forced to look out for an elderly neighbor and her strange dog all summer, Annie learns that there's more to life than good or bad luck. It's about doing your best, being kind, and allowing yourself to see the good in people. You'll never know what's possible unless, like Annie, you open your heart.
Hi, my name is Sarah Shumway, and I'm delighted to tell you about a beautiful novel in verse by Ellen Hagen, Reckless, Glorious Girl. This is the story of Beatrice, who lives with her strong mom and eccentric mama, and the wild ride of changes that is her life as she's turning 13. While tackling universal moments of middle school, it's also the story of 3 generations of Southern women and a girl's path blossoming into her sense of self. Reckless Glorious Girl has earned praise from the luminous Renee Watson, who called it poignant and heartwarming, a glorious debut, and from the brilliant Kate Messner, who says it's a joyful, poetic celebration of family, friendship, and growing up. I hope you'll come for the story about a Southern girl feeling her roots and reaching out her branches, and stay for the gorgeous poetry from Ellen Hagen.
This is Allison at Bloomsbury, and I'm excited to tell you about The Best Worst Summer by Elizabeth Gilberg, author of the Great Shelby Holmes series. So 10-year-old Peyton is about to have the worst summer ever. Her family just moved and she has nothing to do, until she comes across a time capsule with an intriguing note. She runs off to the library to try to figure out some of the items that are inside, and runs into Lucas, who may just be a great new mystery-solving friend. Back in 1989, Melissa and Jessica are about to have the best summer ever, but some things are happening in Melissa's home life that she can't talk to anyone about, even Jessica. Will they even still be friends when the summer is through? I love how Elizabeth Gilberg explores friendship in 2 different decades, one that middle grade parents may even relate to, and today. This book has amazing kid appeal and great discussion potential too.
Stetzer here to talk about Don't Hate the Player by debut author Alexis Ned. The story stars a girl named Amelia who is a straight-A student and field hockey star with a secret. Nobody knows that she is a member of a highly competitive video game team. And when an esports tournament with a massive grand prize comes to her city, Amelia refuses to let her team play without her, but that puts her secret identity at risk when a member of the underdog team recognizes her, and he just so happens to have had a crush on her for ages. This read is super smart, hilarious, and swoony, but it also delves into weightier issues like the way that women are treated in the gaming world today. Gamers will love to see some fun references throughout, but non-gamers never fear. Speaking as someone who doesn't know very much about the gaming world at all, I cannot tell you how much I love this book.
The most radical thing you can do is love yourself and each other. That's the sentiment at the heart of Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson, the multi-award-winning and utterly brilliant Renee Watson. This is a book with a swoony, blooming romance at the fore of the plot, where there's a boy readers will fall for right along with Nala, our heroine. And Nala is someone that many of us will completely love and identify with too. More than a romance, though, this is a story about a girl who has to learn to love herself before she can find true love with someone else. Renee said to me that she wanted to give her readers and herself a bit of a resting place with this novel, that it doesn't have to be all pain and issues and activism and fighting for social justice and awareness all the time. But of course, this also hits on so many contemporary themes that our young people face every day. It wouldn't be a Renee Watson book if it wasn't elegantly powerful and empowering. Love is a revolution, and so is reading a Renee Watson book. I can't wait for you to read this one.
I'm Lily Yengel from Bloomsbury Publishing. I'm here to tell you about Bridget Kemmer's latest book, A Vow So Bold and Deadly. It's the 3rd book in a trilogy, so without any spoilers, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Cursebreaker series. It starts with A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is a twist on Beauty and the Beast. You're going to fall in love with the 2 main characters, but also with a side character who takes center stage in A Heart So Fierce and Broken, where we meet some new people and we hit the road to the opposing kingdom. Now all comes to a head in a epic finale, A Vow So Bold and Deadly. Extremely satisfying conclusion. All in all, this series is so good. Bridget's amazing at writing swoon-worthy romances and lots of angst and some surprisingly healthy communication. But I know nothing is better than a trilogy that you just love from start to finish. this is definitely it. I hope you will check it out.
After her very splashy debut with YA fantasy Cinderella is Dead, bestselling author Kaylin Bayron is back with a contemporary fantasy, This Poison Heart. This story has everything you want in a YA story. Dark magic, a girl with a unique power to grow and control all kinds of plants and flowers, and a sprawling mystery that spans generations. When Bree suddenly inherits a rundown estate north of New York City, she and her moms welcome the opportunity for a change of scenery. But when they arrive, they quickly learn that this is no ordinary home. It comes with a fully stocked apothecary and a locked garden where some of the deadliest plants on Earth are growing. Bree soon realizes that her magic is no coincidence, and she'll need to find out the truth behind her family's history before a dangerous curse destroys them all.